Hello, welcome to another live stream. This is just an experiment to see if I can stream horizontally from my iPad, and it looks like I can. Just wait and see if anyone comes into the chat. I've not really got anything to. Not really got any subject I want to talk about. Wait and see if someone pops in and gives me a subject to talk about. Corey's Comedy Channel, hello! Yeah, so this is live stream on my iPad, horizontal. It didn't like it, but I eventually managed to delve into the settings and change it. Thank you. Yeah, Corey says he'll help me with my discussion. You're the only watcher at the moment. I was going to do this outside, but I couldn't get a signal. What music is playing in the background? Right, well, this is from YouTube Studio, and I'm not sure what it is. It's basically I'm cheating. I'm playing one of my videos back with the music already on it. But it is YouTube Studio. It's not. Oh, got 2 watchers in now. Is the music too loud? It's not too loud. Yeah, so basically this is really low tech. I've got the music on in the background from one of my videos with non-copyright music from YouTube Studio on it. So it's a way of putting music on a live stream without doing anything complicated. Yeah, so this is, as I say, this is just an experiment to see if my iPad can do horizontal live streaming, and it obviously can. So yeah, thank you, Corey. Yeah, the Keith just hit the dislike button. Thank you, and report. Yeah, well, anything's better than nothing, isn't it? You know, it gets YouTube to get YouTube to see you, even if it's a dislike and a report. Keith's funny. I love that guy. So. Yeah. Oh, what have I done here? Canned meat. I'm spamming. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd got ideas of doing this outside. So you know, in the countryside, but I obviously couldn't get a network connection. Keith is with the comedy union. It's funny, I'm only getting one message at a time. Whereas when I'm on my phone, I can see loads of messages, scroll through them when I'm get my phone out and see if I can join this. No, I can't see the messages. So strange. Oh, hang on. Oh, here we are. Got it. I have to press chat publicly as Ron, and then I can see it. Make sure I've got the volume control down so I don't get any feedback. Right. Okay. So Corey's saying, let me go and send music and fun, etc. comment to tell him that I'm live. As I say, this is just really an experiment to... Keith says, maybe you'll see this message. Yes, I'm seeing it. Yeah, thank you. Just an experiment to see if we can go live on the iPad horizontally. And I'm presuming that if I can do horizontal on the iPad, I can probably do horizontal on the Android phone as well, if I want to. But you have to delve into the settings to, because I tried to start this off live, and it just kept saying you've got the wrong orientation of the screen. Turn it to vertical or alter the settings. And I watched somebody else's video who said this is where the setting was. Well, it wasn't. You know, finally found it, and so maybe the setting would be there on the Android phone, but on the iPad, it's actually in the right-hand corner when you've gone with a camera setting. No, it's not the camera setting. It's not there. Yeah, it's an exercise bike. It's an exercise bike, and it's in front of the television, and you know I never use it. I bought it and never use it. Yeah, it's I need to use it, but Keith says, anytime you want to practice, let us know. Siri just changed your name. So Keith is using voice to text on Siri, and so Siri doesn't always hear properly or respond properly. But it's pretty good, really, isn't it? I seem to have 4 watchers, or as Corey would say, 8 eyeballs, but only 2 of you are commenting, I think. So, yeah. Or maybe one of the watchers is me because I've got my phone on it. It still makes 3. Maybe I can comment on my own. Maybe I can comment on my own video. Yeah, there you go. So this is going to be a boring video for anybody to watch, but yeah, what Keith says, I think Twiggy watches your channel. What, Twiggy the model from London? Or some other Twiggy? Yeah. What can I show you? I haven't prepared anything for this. I'm just trying to do a live stream, like, you know, just to prove that I can, you know, on the iPad. Yeah, so if I've got 4 people watching every minute, your live is 4 minutes, says Corey. I should have prepared some props, shouldn't I? Yes, the supermodel, Twiggy the supermodel. I very much doubt that Twiggy the supermodel watches my channel. Yeah, what you can name this video testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, says Keith. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just as I say, it was just to see if I could, really. Corey says Keith is so funny. Right. What else? What can I show you? I don't know. I think I'll perhaps better sign off. Corey says, do you think you'll ever try StreamYard? Yeah, I might do. The problem is my computer's in a little room upstairs with and it's really untidy. So I probably wouldn't go live from there. Keith says it's amazing sitting here in Tennessee. I can talk to someone in England. And that's true, isn't it? I mean, when I was young, we had none of this. Although I did work with computers. I think 1972. So 52 years ago, I was a mainframe computer operator on Burroughs 3500 and Burroughs 3700 and NCR 315 computer mainframes. And so I've been in IT. It wasn't called IT in those days. I've been in IT I was in IT for 37 years before they sacked me, made me redundant, and then I moved into a job just as a computer user. You know, just in it wasn't exactly a call center. We were processing stuff for another company. Keith says, make that your niece, that you made it look untidy and live on the... Sorry, I'm trying to read it on my phone and that heart thing's over the comment. Yes, Corey says it helps when you schedule a live stream. That way people know when you'll be live. Well, yeah, I did try to schedule a live stream. Now, I set it for a time, but when I pressed, it said go live. You know, at the time I was going live, so I sat there and waited to see if anyone would join, and nobody did. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to go live. So, got an advert in my YouTubes. I'm playing my videos to get the music, and it's come up with an advert. So see if we can get some more music on from. Oh yes, that one will do. I think that's. That's one from YouTube Studio. Corey says the longer you live, the more people that show up. Oh, Keith said I heard. Where are we? Make that your niche, that your room, you made it look untidy, and live on the benefit of that. Corey says, can I say that Keith is a nice guy and not get in trouble for saying that? Keith says, I heard the basic cell phone now has more ability than when they sent the man to the moon. And Corey said, the longer you live, the more people that show up. Oh, the longer you go live. Did you see a film called Hidden Figures? It's about the first sort of. It's about the Apollo missions, and they had all these ladies doing the calculations, and right at the end they finally brought in a computer. But up until that, they'd got all these ladies doing the calculations, and I can't remember. I think Kevin Spacey's in it. Yeah, Hidden Figures, if it's called the same in the US. Really good film. Watch Hidden Figures. And in the olden days, like going back to the 1800s and whatever, computer was actually a job. You could be a computer, and that's where the name comes from, I think. I mean, the computers I was working on were like big accounting computers, holding the data for banks, for a bank. Well, it wasn't actually a bank, it's like a bank, but it was a building society, and that's something we get in the UK. It held all the accounts. We had, I got employed just at the right time as they were moving from the NCR 315 to a Burris 3500, and they needed computer operators. We did shifts, so we kept the computer running. Well, it wasn't 24 hours a day. We kept it running. We had three shifts. I think we had 8:30 till, was it 8:30 till 4:30, and 4:30 till midnight till 7, and then the computer was taken down for 2 hours, and while the engineers got to it. Massive great thing, you know. It would like the but what you were saying about the Apollo missions, yeah, their computer, I mean, you've probably got more processing power in a musical birthday card than they had. So who we got now? Corey says, no, I've not seen that film. Well, have a look at that film, Hidden Figures, brilliant. Tells you all about the Apollo missions and whatever. And a lot of the ladies that were doing the calculations, how can I say this, were of colour, and they weren't treated very well. They were discriminated against, and yet it was them that was doing all these calculations for the Apollo missions, and they were exceedingly clever. Yeah, brilliant film. Wow, what we got now? Keith says, I'm on the way now, but yes, Hidden Figures was about the black women at NASA, that's right. Lobo Gris, howdy all, hello. Corey's Comedy Channel, have you seen the movie Tractor? I saw the trailer, it looks pretty good, that's comedy. No, I didn't see the movie Tractor, I must admit. Is that a joke? I just saw the trailer. I get it. Very good. Corey says, look, it's Lobo, howdy mate. Keith says, my iPad delays the chat every time I send a message. Lobo says, hey Corey, missed you earlier. Corey's Comedy Channel, no worries buddy, it's all good. Keithy, I had an abacus, but I kept dropping the beads on the floor. Yeah, I had an abacus, but it was a load of... really. Corey's Comedy Channel, I'll be here. The comment stuck under this heart symbol. I can't see it until somebody else puts one on it and moves up. I don't know how to get rid of that heart symbol on my phone. that I'm reading the comments on my phone because they're not coming up on the iPad. Well, they are, but they're flashing in the bottom left-hand corner and then disappearing. And I think that might be because I've got it on horizontal, because when I watch Corey's Comedy Channel live, the comments are there. But I think it's because I've stuck it into landscape. Oh, here we are. Corey's Comedy Channel. I'll be here all week. Try the meatloaf. Yeah. And Keith says Corey has mentioned having to do something with that heart before. I can't read that until it moves off. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yet if I press that heart, nothing happens. Well, it puts a heart up on the phone screen, but it doesn't put a heart up on the iPad screen. Corey says click on the 3 dots and you can turn off that feature. Really? 3 dots. Oh no, that's not it. Oh, I see. Hang on. 3 dots. Split screen. Lock, split screen, hide content, manage. I don't know. Too complicated. I'm too old for all this stuff, you know. But, yeah, Keith, I'm just going to leave the video on, but I will not be here. Okay, I don't blame you. Don't blame you at all. I'd do the same. I don't know how much time you've got, Corey, because it seems so. There's only you and me and Lobo Gris. Amazing. Lobo Gris says amazing how a calculator has so much more computing power than the Apollo capsules. Jake. Something just flashed up from Jake Hudson, but I think that's one of his videos. He's just telling me that he's doing a video. Yeah, the computer that they were moving off at the Building Society when I joined them to operate the Burroughs 3500, it had 1K of memory. In fact, its memory was so small that there were loads of lights along the front of the console, and it had a light for every bit. You could tell whether it was on. With every bit of memory, you could tell whether it was on or off. 1K of memory, and yet it held all the accounts for this building society, which is like a bank. And so it had deposit accounts, paid up share accounts, fixed term accounts, savings accounts, and mortgages, and it held all the. And it didn't have disk. The NCR 315 didn't have disk. It had what was called CRAM, which is card random access memory. And that's like, so we had 3 of these big units with, and you had packs of 256 magnetic cards, each with different tabs at the top, and they held your data. So instead of having disk, they held your data, and you sort of put them in these CRAM units, card random access memory, and they sounded like big vacuum cleaner blowing away, and they've got a read head at the bottom, a read write head at the bottom, and each one of these cram decks units could drop one card, could have one card on the head, one card in the raceway back to the deck, and one card going to the head. And then when they'd done all their calculations and stored all their information and everything, you could then back it up to mag tape units. All your input was by paper tape. So there was or paper tape or mag tapes, but mainly paper tape. So you spend half the shift reading paper tape, and those paper tapes would come from what we called the punch room, who would take the media sheets from the branches or whatever, and they'd put it all onto paper tape, and we used to just reel it in, and on the NCR it used to come on a big reel, but it hadn't got anywhere to go, so it used to whiz through this paper tape reader and just curl itself all up on the floor. Yeah, so that was the NCR 315, and then I went on to the Burris 3500. Now that, back in 1972 or 73, was a multi-processing machine. Could do 10 things at once. A big bank of mag tape units, a massive bank of head per track disc, well, 3 massive banks of head per track disc, and a paper tape reader which actually had a take-up spool, so would keep itself tidy, but was a lot slower than the NCR on reading paper tape. Had a card reader as well, and it had 2 big drum printers. Back in 1972 or 73, whenever it was, those drum printers could print up to 1,080 lines a minute, which is pretty damn fast, even by today's standard. It was it was like green bank paper with looked a bit like small music paper. It was green, and all the characters were spinning round on a drum, and there was a load of hammers which would fire and hit the drum at the time, as the paper went through, and it could do 1,080 lines a minute. Amazing. So, sorry, that's Lobo Grist says 1K, yeah, not 1 meg, 1K. Corey's Comedy Channel, how's Lobo doing today? Lobo's Grist contemplating the possibility, thinking about the idea of getting out of bed, maybe. Hey Lobo, Corey says, hey Lobo, we're here to celebrate Ron. He's almost at 3,000 watch hours. That's pretty awesome. Thank you. Corey's Comedy Channel, joke for Lobo. I've been laying low, my bed sags. That's comedy. Lobo Grist, nice. Congrats Ron, let's get him over the line. Lobo Grist, nice. Corey Comedy Channel, Ron is entering the promised land. Oh, I'm gonna yeah, my age I could enter the promised land at any time. Lobo Gris have to get past Gandalf yelling, "You shall not pass." Lobo's words, "We are stronger together," says Corey. Yeah, so I ought to be good at this computing lark because I've been in it since I was 20. I was in what we now call IT for 37 years before my building society went bankrupt in the well, it didn't actually go bankrupt. It had to be taken over, let's say that, in the 2008 financial crisis. And the people that took it over, they had their own computer department, so they didn't want me. So I got made redundant. But they gave me a package and I got another job. And then I worked till 64 and I thought, this is a mug's game. Work's a four-letter word if you don't enjoy it, isn't it? You know. I mean, if you enjoy your work, it's not work, is it? But anyway, so well, I mean, I enjoyed the first 25 years of my life with computers, but then of course the management changed and the youngsters coming in knew more than I did, and and I used to go around the country after I stopped being a computer operator. Went into networking when we were putting the first networks in. And of course, we didn't have the internet. They were put in on leased lines, and then after a while, they decided that they wanted me to go out and actually start installing the stuff. So I became an engineer. I used to drive around the country installing stuff. I used to even install cash dispensers or ATMs. But then, of course, the outsourcing period happened, and they started bringing in outside companies, and then they wanted me to organise the outside companies, you know, as a project manager, and project management's not my thing. But I stuck with it until they sacked me anyway. But it's a bit loud. But yeah, I had a good life with computers. But I'm out of my depth now with social media. Totally out of my depth with social media and stuff like that. Well, more comments. What have we got? Yeah, we got this stronger together. Corey C. Lobo G. I listen. Lobo Gris, indeed, my friend. Lobo Gris, very true. I think that comment's about me saying that if you enjoy your work, it's not work. Corey's comedy channel, my computer quit me, my cat ate my mouse. That's comedy. Lobo Gris had to call tech support. The cup holder on my mini tower broke. Well, yeah, that was the thing, wasn't it? You remember when they first started putting CD drives and DVD drives into the towers? People were using them as cup holders. crazy. Um, and the other thing was, I don't know whether this actually happened, but I heard on the computer screen when somebody got something wrong, they found Tipex on the screen. I didn't find that. Yeah, it was. That was a good. Now you know. Now do you know someone who doesn't know how to use a computer? Is Tipex on the screen. And then of course they started bringing out the what was almost sort of like the computers we know today. I mean, it started off with MS-DOS, and then I think the earliest I got into them was on Windows 3.5, which really couldn't do a lot. They're mainly connected to the mainframe computers for all their information. And of course now there are all these servers and things around. So you still have big mainframe computers holding all the information, but then you have a server which gives you access to the computer. Oh, Serpico. Hello, Serpico. And Serpico says I need some advice. Yeah, you're not the only one. What can I tell you? So Serpico, just to recap, this was just an experiment to try and go live landscape on an iPad, which I had to delve into the settings to manage to do, but I did it anyway. Yeah, I was watching your Lobo Grist says I worked tech support back in the day. The calls kept me laughing all day. The computer I built was a 386SX 33 megahertz turbo button to clock the CPU to 66 megahertz. Serpico. Serpico's. I'm having a bit of a problem with the comments because they're coming up on the iPad and then disappearing. So I've got my phone in my hand to read the comments, and there's this stupid heart-shaped thing over the comments, so I can't read it properly until the next comment comes up. Serpico, I got angry at a person and had a huge violent outburst. Now I feel ashamed. Yeah, but you're the hardest man in Leek, aren't you? So, respect, you know. Yeah, so we've got 4 people on here. We've got Lobo Grist, we've got Serpico, we've got Corey's Comedy Channel, and we've got Keith, who's left his computer on but gone away and stopped watching it. Serpico's put is that an emoticon? No, not an emoticon, an emoji, which is green. And Corey's Comedy Channel says you've been on for 45 minutes. Yeah, Corey and Lobo, yeah, I was doing a live stream with some sunflowers in a field that I was staying near, and Serpico came on and joined the live stream, and he's, I don't know, 2 or 3 counties away from where I am, and also a friend of his who's a singer. What was her name? Olivia Robinson. So yeah, Serpico. I've been watching some of Olivia Robinson's stuff. She's good, isn't she? Very good. So Corey, are you hinting I should shut this shut this live stream down, or yeah, so, yeah, Olivia. Yeah, I've been watching some of her stuff. I was doing some work on the computer, and rather than have the radio on, I was listening to some of her music. Yeah, she's very good. So Serpico, Corey's Comedy Channel is in Las Vegas, so we're 8 hours in front of him. Yeah, Serpico said join her lives, mate. Well, I did, but only by accident. I just looked for some of her music, and she just happened to be doing a live stream, and I really only caught the last 2 tunes. So then I replayed the live stream while I was doing paperwork and whatever, instead of listening to the radio, because basically the radio is at my age, I always used to listen to Radio 2, but even Radio 2's rubbish these days. We've got Polly Rotterman. GTSY, guys. Now that's an acronym I don't know, I'm afraid. But hello, Polly. Is it Polly or Polly? There's only one L. Serpico says Olivia takes requests too. Lobo Gris. Lobo Gris. Polly or Polly is obviously a friend of Lobo Gris. Oh, sounds like he's Spanish. He's saying hola. Lobo Gris is saying Ron is about to cross the 3,000 watch hour mark. Holy Rotterman, great to see you. Wow. Yeah, going back to requests for music. When I was near that sunflower field, I was actually staying with a load of people at a campsite. I was in my yellow camper van, and we had a DJ there who's one of the camper van group members, and we had a chef there who's one of the camper van group as well, and so they played Do Ron Ron for me, and what I never understand about that song Do Ron Ron is the line that says somebody told me his name's Bill. I thought his name was Ron. Anyway, So I could do with her singing do Ron Ron, but somebody told me his name's Ron, not Bill. Corey's Comedy Channel says you're doing great, mate. Clock up these last few hours. We're here to help. Oh, Lobo Gris says GTSY means good to see you. Ah, right, okay. I'm not up with all the acronyms. I know a lot of them. Good to see you. Right, thank you. Good to see you too. This is turning into quite a chat actually. I came on just as an experiment, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but I'm actually chatting away here. It's all rubbish, but Lobo Gris, I sent up the flares. Polly answered, maybe a few more that I sent up the link will show as well. Corey's Comedy Channel says you're an inspiration to all of us, Ron. I don't think so, but yeah. So all of these people, apart from Serpico, who's in this chat, they've all come from me attending Corey's comedy live streams, and Corey is in Las Vegas, and he's a magician. And if you want to attend one of his live streams, if you're in the UK, it's 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning, because it's 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in Las Vegas when he does it. So Serpico, if you're looking for subscribers or watch hours, subscribe to Corey's Comedy Channel and join in his live stream if you can be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not easy, but he does do secret sessions for his subscribers as well. So if you subscribe to him and keep the notifications on, you probably get a notification that he's live, and that's what happened to me this afternoon. Between Corey's Comedy Channel and my live stream, I've written the afternoon off. Serpico says, what if we ride on we two with life forever, old yet new, change not in kind but degree, the instant made eternity. Robert Browning. Yeah, you see, you were quoting poetry at me, well, you were quoting Wordsworth at me on that live stream. So you're a hard man, but do you know a bit of poetry? Yeah. Which is all good. I wish I mean, I did O levels when I was at school. I scraped through English language, but English literature, I've never really read books, really, and now with the internet, I read even less. I've got a Kindle and I've got loads of free books on it, and I hardly read any of them, but when I used to travel all over the country fixing computers, did that for a few years. I had a company car from 1986 to 2003. I used to get, if I was doing long runs, you know, like up to Scotland or something like that, I'd get talking books from the library, and they were on cassette. They won't fit in the slot in the CD player. They were on cassette, and I listened to a lot of talking books. So I'm quite happy to listen to them, but I can't be bothered to read them, you know. There's some really good talking books I had. I listened to the Da Vinci Code on Talking Book. Absolutely brilliant. But the film with Tom Hanks, absolute rubbish. I listened to Joanna Lumley reading 101 Dalmatians by Dodie Smith, because I've never really grown up, you know. Despite the fact I'm 71, I've never really grown up much in my mind. And the Disney film, yeah, it's good, but it doesn't follow the storyline properly like the book does. And Joanna Lumley reads it really well. And then there was the Beiderbecke affair, I think, with that really good on Talking Book, on talking. I suppose you call them podcasts now, but they were talking books then on cassettes. And there were so many. J.R. Koontz, Lightning. That was another book, brilliant, about time travel and trying to go back I think it was the Germans, Hitler's time, trying to travel forward to get nuclear technology and then travel back again, or something. I can't remember. It was really, really good. I listened to the other guy, Dick Francis books. Francis was the Queen's jockey, but he used to write books. And despite the fact they're all about horses, they're all really educational. And it was. I really used to enjoy those talking books when I was driving. But I mean, I don't do many long journeys now. I mean, I tend to only the longest journeys I do now. Really, the longest journey I've done this year is driving back from Cornwall to Leicestershire. It was like 320 miles, something like that. And then I do 150 miles journeys quite often to see my daughter, and and the a lot of the campsites, a lot of the camping things I do with the camper van. I'm in a camper van group which is basically based near Worcestershire. So we go to well, the one near the sunflower seeds is a bit of a secret, but the usual ones I go to Dubs in the Middle, which is near Evesham. I go to Lower Load Inn, which is near Tewkesbury, Forthampton, near Tewkesbury on the River Severn, and places like that. And they're all basic. Oh, and the Ross on Wye Rowing Club, that's a good campsite as well. They're all basically 90 miles. You know, and that video I did when I broke down on the M42, I was heading to Lower Load Inn. That's Lower LODE, Lower Load Inn, which is a 15th century inn by the River Severn. In fact, it's for sale at the moment. If you've got a spare 800 grand, you could buy Lower Load Inn with the campsite and the river frontage. It's one of my favourite. Well, it's one of my favourite pubs. I mean, I don't really go to pubs much unless I go with the camper van friends. But that's a fantastic place. I'm rabbiting on. I'm missing the comments, right? So Lobo Gris is planning a 48-hour marathon stream. Right. I don't think I could stay up for 48 hours, but Corey's Comedy Channel has subscribed to Serpico. Serpico says lovely. Lobo Gris says hopefully will have to convince others to join. Want a panel of power streamers with me. Serpico says but a man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's heaven's for? Oh, now I've got another. We've just been through this on Corey's live stream. What does BRB mean? Oh, be right back. Corey's Comedy Channel. I'm trying to find your channel, Polly. I can't seem to find it. Serpico says Queen's Jockey. That's about Dick Francis. So good books, Dick Francis. Probably get them in the library, or these days you can join the library and go onto an app and just download them to your phone, watch them, and then you can listen to them. You can sort of check them in and out. You can have them for a couple of weeks, and then you check them back, and somebody else can have them. Lobo Gris needs a link to Serpico. Serpico says it's all right, mate. Yeah, so I better pack this in, haven't I? I've done 64 minutes, and I only popped on to just make sure the iPad works. Well, now I know it does. I wanted to do it outside. I wanted to do it with nice countryside views and things like that, but having networking problems trying to do that. I've got an idea of how I can do it, but I suppose I could turn my phone horizontal and do it. That might be the answer. But anyway, so I've ended up in my lounge. Right, shall I pack it in then? And let you all go back to sleep. So Serpico says, nice sessions, sir. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, that live stream you. Oh, I got cramp. Okay. That live stream, that live stream you joined me in next to the sunflowers. Uh, I, now I've watched it back, I can see I haven't got good signal strength, and that's why the picture wasn't very good. But I have actually made a video of the sunflowers, if you check on my channel, with a camcorder. So offline, edited on the computer, and some music behind it. So if you want to see sunflowers, it's there, and I've sort of made it like a relaxation video. I've actually I had to get rid of the soundtrack because of the wind blowing over the microphone. So I've put a little bit of classical music. Now that might suit you, Sir Pico. I've got Fur Elise and Eine Kleine Nacht music on the sunflower video. So a bit of Mozart and a bit of Beethoven. I only know the popular classics. I don't know anything obscure. That's the first time I've got to that campsite this year. Normally end up there a couple of times, but it's sort of like a private campsite. It's on a farm in the middle. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. Dead quiet till till we start playing music. Yes. Well, where are we? Live streams are always unpredictable. Lobo says have an 82-hour shift this weekend. Good God. Corey's comedy channel says Lobo G, you're amazing. Lobo G says nah, just sounds good on that heart things over it. I think it says just sounds good on paper. Serpico says make sure you don't get copyrighted though. That is why I'm using non-copyright music from YouTube Studio, and there've been occasions where I've had to blot out. I've uploaded and YouTube have picked some music in the distance up and said and copyrighted it, and if you click on the copyright thing, it tells you why they've copyrighted and exactly where it is in the video. And so when I did that video of the American cars coming out of the field at Upton Blues on the Sunday, when the Blues Brothers came up, it was blasting music out. So I got rid of that. So I had to get rid of the soundtrack there, and I actually put some sound from my own car over it, because So you go and watch that, and you suddenly hear this V8 going vroom vroom vroom. That wasn't an American car. That was a British car, but they don't know that because it's just a soundtrack I'd recorded on one of my videos. Anyway, I think I better shut it down and let you all get back to doing what you're doing. I feel really good that this live stream on the iPad's gone really well, because all the live streams I've done so far have been vertical live streams on my Android phone, but now I've figured out how to do horizontal on the iPad. I think that's perhaps the way to go. I have to investigate StreamYard. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Lobo Gris says nice editing on that. Ron, Corey's Comedy Channel says that's unbelievable. Somebody's car radio gets you a strike. Lobo Gris says iPad is all iPad is AI, artificial intelligence I use for my lives. Is it? All right. Yeah. So yeah, Corey. It was just if you upload a video to YouTube and it does its processing and checks, it comes up copyright. If you press on the copyright, it tells you where you've gone wrong, and then you've got the choice of either deleting it and starting again, but you know where to edit it, or you can actually say to it, block out the sound, or you can say to it, replace the sound with something out of studio, or you can say, cut that video and sound out between those two places completely. So I've done both of those, but the American car video on the Sunday from Upton Blues, I didn't even risk it. I knocked there were 2 or 3 cars playing music, and I knocked the music out and replaced it with Sound of Big Red. Sounds more V8 than the Americans, yeah. So anyway, right. Yeah. YouTube can pick out some music that you didn't even hear. Not even when you're editing, you didn't hear it until it points it out, and then you play it back and you think, oh, yeah, it's just in the background, you know. And it comes up and it tells you what it is. And I've actually had YouTube moaning about some of my non-copyright music and made a mistake. It wasn't from studio, it was from my editing program. And I've used it loads of times, and it actually said what this music it thought it was, and it wasn't, but it still copyrighted it. But anyway, but most of the time I just say either replace it or mute it or something, and it churns away using the YouTube's computers, not mine, and sorts it out. Anyway, right, I really must go. Thank you very much, all of you. It's been great. And so especially Serpico, what a pain in the yes. Yeah. The thing is, I'm not monetized, so it wouldn't really matter if I leave this copyright music in. But I want to get rid of it in case I ever do monetize. Anyway, cheers. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to press the cross and cross. I'm going to. I'm going to press the cross and say. Where's the bloody cameras next to the cross? Right. Cheers. Bye.